Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Checks and Balances TV. I'm your host, Matthew J. Reddick, and I'm committed to giving you the truth you need to financially succeed. Each week, we'll review the news, check the facts, and provide balanced insight and unbiased advice to help you make critical financial decisions. So let's get up, get energized, and get going, and see how today's headlines impact your financial future. The Automatic IRA Act of 2010, initially proposed by President Obama earlier this year in his budget for 2011, has received approval from a highly respected organization. The Heritage Foundation, an independent public policy research institution, recently released a report in support of the proposed act. Under the plan, employees of firms with 10 or more workers that do not currently have an employer retirement plan would be automatically enrolled in IRAs at their workplace. The foundation says this plan paves the path to personal financial security as it helps employees save for retirement earlier than they would otherwise. President Obama recently signed into law the Small Business Jobs and Credit Act of 2010. A key feature of the act is that it allows plans with Roth contribution features, such as a 401k plan, to add in-plan Roth conversions, effective immediately. Prior to this, 401k plan participants had to roll over their pre-tax account balances out of their employer's plan into a Roth IRA. Congress approved Roth 401k and 403b conversions, and beginning in 2011, governmental 457b plans will be allowed for conversion as well. Okay, so what's really going on here? Let's check the facts using our checks and balances process. The Automatic IRA Act of 2010 was introduced to help more American workers better prepare for retirement. And based on the success of the 401k auto-enroll program promoted by the Pension Protection Act of 2006, President Obama proposed this plan during his campaign and included it in his 2011 fiscal year budget released earlier this year. Under the proposed legislation, all eligible employees would be automatically enrolled into an auto IRA plan and contribute 3% of their paycheck to their auto IRA account. A version of this bill is up for consideration in both the House and the Senate. Although both bill sponsors are Democrats, the general concept of the bill has support from both liberals and conservatives. The Heritage Foundation, one of the largest independent research and educational institutions with a mission to formulate and promote conservative public policies, released a report in support of the proposed plan. They concluded that the auto IRA is a simple, low-cost retirement savings vehicle that allows for an individual to retain control over all aspects of their savings. It would allow for 401k contributions to roll over for workers going from large companies to smaller firms that do not have 401k plans in place. This would enable workers to take their retirement savings plan with them and allow for continued contributions. The popularity of Roth IRAs has now entered the workplace as many companies are integrating a Roth option to their in-house retirement plans. The biggest difference between a traditional IRA account and a Roth is the way the taxes are treated. Traditional IRAs allow for contributions to be deducted on your taxes now. However, you will pay taxes on all distributions in the future. With a Roth IRA, you do not receive a tax deduction for any contribution, but you will receive tax-free distributions when you withdraw the money in retirement. The current popularity of Roth conversions is due, at least in part, to the favorable conversion law in effect for this year. As of 2010, the annual maximum income restriction of $100,000 is lifted, allowing anyone to convert a traditional IRA account to a Roth IRA. The catch is, though, that when you convert to a Roth, the rollover amount is generally treated as taxable income in the year of the conversion. And depending on the value of your traditional plan, your income tax rate could be much higher when the converted amount is counted. However, the government is allowing taxes on conversions done in 2010 only to be paid equally over the next 2 years. Beginning next year, if converting to a Roth, the entire amount of the conversion must be reported on that year's tax return. So you may be asking yourself, okay, Matt, what does all this mean to me? Now that we've checked the facts, let's balance this information using our checks and balances process to determine what action you should take today. On the heels of the recent recession and the trillions of dollars lost in consumer retirement and investment accounts over the last 3 years, and in an effort to empower the American people to save more, both sides of the political aisle have supported this universal effort. The need for an alternative income source in retirement is even more apparent as Social Security faces financial difficulties much sooner than anticipated. By introducing a simple, low-cost, automatic savings vehicle that is easy to use, transfer, and control, the hope is that Americans will take a more proactive role in saving for their own retirement. The Auto IRA concept allows for almost all Americans to use privately managed retirement savings vehicles to build their own retirement security, rather than depending too heavily on Social Security. The race to Roth and IRA can be seen just about everywhere you see a retirement plan today. The conversion terms are fairly attractive right now as well. Perhaps the government is in need of tax revenue. I think they are. The 2-year taxes due split option is a 1-year only bargain. The distinct benefit of the split is that you can spread the taxes due on converting your traditional IRA to a Roth IRA over the next 2 years. Now, while it may sound like a great deal, it is not a one-size-fits-all solution. Depending on your income and tax bracket, it may make more sense to take the tax bite this year rather than wait until next year and begin paying taxes on the conversion at the to-be-determined but believed to be higher income tax rate. Another consideration you should take into account is your current age. It is generally accepted knowledge that if you are over 70 years of age, a Roth IRA conversion may cost you more in taxes now than it will benefit you in tax-free withdrawals in the future. Okay, so what's the bottom line here? It looks as if the government is taking an active role in helping you be accountable for your own quality of retirement. It's widely accepted that Social Security is unsustainable, and before it becomes exhausted, a backup plan needs to be well underway. You've heard the old saying, if it's to be, it's up to me, and it's never been more true than it is today. It may not appear easy to do, but paying yourself first with every paycheck you receive now will reap mighty rewards for your retirement years. And to protect yourself from increased tax rates on your IRA or other qualified accounts in the future, the Roth conversion may be an ideal strategy for you. So, to Roth or not to Roth? That is the question. Let's explore this topic a little bit further. In this week's CBTV poll, we asked Americans an important question. Are you going to convert to a Roth IRA this year? 17% of you said that you're still weighing out your options. Well, as long as you take the time to do your checks and balances on a Roth conversion and learn how it may impact you now as well as in the future, you'll be able to make a wise financial decision. In our On the Street segment, we travel the country to ask Americans what they think about an important financial topic or issue. For this week's segment, we asked people about Roth IRAs, if they had heard of them, if they knew what a Roth IRA conversion was, and if they knew how these types of accounts can help Americans save for retirement. Let's take a look at what America had to say. Have you heard of the Roth IRA?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the real benefits of the Roth IRA today?
I think with the Roth IRA, you can put X amount of dollars in per year. When you take it out, I think there's less of a tax bite, and you can take it out at any time.
Exactly right. The Roth IRA is actually tax-free once you begin to pull it out. The traditional IRA, you get a tax deduction up front, but when you take it out in the future, it's all going to be taxable. How does an IRA help Americans plan for retirement?
Well, you know, it's putting money away that's not taxed, and I think that all of us need, you know, a nest egg of some sort, and, you know, to not have a tax like that's very important, so that, you know, when retirement does come along, you have something left over and you're not on the streets, you know, or wondering where you're going to pay your rent. So I think as Americans, we need to think more along those lines.
Yeah, one last question. With taxes going up as you feel they are, and many Americans do, for those folks who are considering converting their traditional IRA into a Roth IRA, so eventually it's tax-free, do you think it makes sense to make that conversion now and pay taxes when the tax brackets are lower rather than waiting later?
I think it's smarter for younger people to do that right now. I think the old people should stay put, because I think they are, you know, going to get clobbered more. There's more money to be taxed.
I really like what the last man had to say. We all need to put money away for retirement. And if you're young, convert your IRA, and if you're older, stay put. Good advice. And now for Matt's weekly tip, tool, or technique. Before you convert, calculate. Here are two things to know before deciding to convert your traditional IRA into a Roth IRA. Number one, know the difference between a traditional IRA and a Roth IRA. Remember, a traditional IRA gives you a tax deduction when you contribute money to your IRA. A Roth does not. Future withdrawals from a traditional IRA are taxable. A Roth provides you with tax-free income. Also, with a traditional IRA, you are required to start pulling money out every year once you turn age 70 and a half. With a Roth IRA, there is no minimum required distribution or RMD. Number two, plan your tax strategy in advance. If a Roth IRA conversion is right for you, be sure to take a moment to figure out if the 2-year taxes due split or the 1-year lump sum tax payment makes the most sense for you. While it may seem more attractive to split up the income taxes due over 2011 and 2012, tax rates this year are relatively low. And with the high probability of income tax rates going up in 2011, you may find yourself paying more taxes by spreading them out over the next 2 years. A very important note here, I highly recommend that you talk with a qualified CPA before making any conversion with your IRA or qualified plan you may have. Now is the time to realize that neither your employer nor the federal government is responsible for your retirement savings. You are. And no one will really care as much about your financial well-being as you do. But you must do your part. Pay yourself first. Have more than one income source planned for retirement, and do what you can now to protect your savings and retirement nest egg. If a Roth conversion appeals to you, do your homework and consider the options carefully before converting. It really only makes sense if you have time on your side to make up for the taxes you'll pay now by converting. Again, be sure to discuss this option with a qualified CPA in your area. Mark your calendars for the next installment of our Truth About series. This upcoming episode will air late November and is on the truth about annuities. You will learn the pros and cons, both sides of the coin on this important financial product, so you'll know if it's the right investment for you. And be sure to friend our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel to gain exclusive access to our library of viral videos and the lighter side of finance. For more information on how to become a checks and balances savvy consumer and to download any of our free reports, visit the download section of our website. Also, be sure to get your copy of the Financial Freedom Wake-Up Call, a free report that teaches you how to plan for, save consistently, and invest wisely for a secure financial future. And while you're on the site, remember your voice counts. Be sure to take this week's poll and visit our Tell Us What You Think section to share your opinion. Make your voice heard. And finally, remember that only you can control your financial future. You can succeed. You just need confidence and determination. I'm Matthew J. Reddick from Checks and Balances TV. Be sure to join us next week when we'll discuss why Social Security isn't so secure. Until then, spend less, save more, believe in yourself, and make it happen.